lanes, since we're talking about trying to get to the truth, um, let's bring up this Boston Richey story. Boston Richey is
Yeah.
Future's artist.
Yeah.
He's gaining a lot of success on the underground, street rapper. Reports came
Okay.
out from NFL 2 which is Kodak's artist, that Boston Richey is quote unquote a snitch. They produce paperwork and everything like that. 1090 Jake does a great breakdown of the charges on Boston Richey. I can't remember if we even spoke on it on here on YouTube, but we definitely spoke on it at length. And after that, Bruce Rivers makes a video, almost trying to clear Boston Richey's name, and it kind of calls 1090 Jake's video into question. So we're getting a few people removed from where the story stems from, Boston Richey. But it's funny
Right.
how more and more content gets getting created from this story. First of all, it's crazy that Boston Richey is in the media right now more for a crime than he is his actual music. Like this is the thing that's going to derail his career. Him being I'm not saying it's going to derail the court if it does, but this is the thing that he's facing right now. Not making up another hit, not getting in the studio with good producers. I'm sure that's part of it, but how he's trying to protect his career right now is proof that he's not a snitch. So what does that say about where we're at? You know,
Well, yeah. I mean,
like
I'm
as
just
a
gonna use it to
culture,
that.
like if hip
Yeah, the
hop is
culture.
black
Yeah, yeah.
culture, and hip hop is like we're seeing hip hop be more and more just about crime. So if hip hop is black culture, is black culture becoming crime culture? Is that what they marketing it as? Because why do we care so much about him being a snitch? What does that have to do with his music?
Um, I think that when you look at it, uh, when you look at it, you brought a great point. You
Mm.
said Future is this guy's artist, and you said,
This guy is Future's artist.
yeah, this guy's Future artist, and then you said Kodak Black is this guy's artist, right?
No,
So
Kodak Black has an artist named NFL 2 that brought the
the
news forward.
paperwork up,
Yeah.
right? So when we look at Boston Richie's like his, career right now for where he's trending up very fast.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's just look at the numbers, okay? If we look at Boston Richie, he is taking off. He's getting into a level where he's going to be up there with the top of the rappers. I think this was great marketing for him. I think for him to have to go through this kind of scrutiny is good because he can still, there's no court papers, there's no, I mean, where it was paperwork, but you got a lawyer disputing it, which could have been a paid advertisement. We don't know. The point is,
Yeah,
the
yeah, we got
point
the
is,
I mean,
the
so you
point
think
is,
that Bruce Rivers is paid? Is
Bruce
that
Rivers
that's
could
a
have been a paid. I'm not listening. I'm just letting y'all know how this marketing game could work. This could not be true or not. I'm just being optimistic on how I can look at numbers and say, okay, this is how this could have been played. Okay.
share that image
Yes.
just so people know who we're talking about? Boston Richie, show an image.
Yeah. Boston Richie. Now, this guy first came out, we know he's future artist. We know that rappers understand the rap game, right? I'm pretty sure Kodak Black and Future is know each other. They tight. They cool. My thing is, I think that's great marketing for your artist to go through the ringers on this and be able to have a way where he can prove the public opinion that he's not. And that's what we seeing with this case. So I think this is good for this man's career right now. This is going to elevate him into that, you know, upper echelon of rappers, and it's going to benefit Future. So I feel like
So
go ahead. Mhm.
no, I'm listening to you rapping. Uh, let's go into what Bruce Rivers, how he entered the video, like how Bruce Rivers tried to clear Boston Richey's name, because this is the real subject at hand. Boston Richey got people trying to clear his name. 1090 J kind of did a good breakdown. So we're trying to figure out, is Boston Richey indeed indeed a snitch? And is Bruce Rivers even qualified to determine whether he's a snitch or not? And is 1090 Jake still credible? Because everybody sees like 1090 Jake as the guy to go to if we talk about paperwork. But now we got an actual lawyer saying that 1090 Jake's video is on some fugazi shit. So we got to see at least the energy that Bruce Rivers was coming from.
Right.
I didn't have a lot of time to do like notes on this video, but at least we could get the energy that he's coming from, because yeah.
Now, does Bruce Rivers have any connections to?
Not that we know of. If you're asking
Right.
if he has connections to Boston Richey, who knows? But
Right.
let me get into it before we.
Has posted a video alleging that Boston Richey is a
Wait a
snitch.
minute, we got to get it. He says his name.
That's why they're not labeled in documents as their name. Usually witness A or B or whatever. 1090 Jake has posted a video alleging that Boston Richey is a snitch. And it is so reckless. And I'm going to read you the only evidence he has of that.
Florida rapper Boston Richey and his paperwork being exposed.
That sounds so ominous. His Boston Richey and his paperwork being exposed. Like he's a snitch and he's the one that's responsible for the conviction of DeAndre Wiggins. Let's just back up a little bit. DeAndre Wiggins in 2016 was responsible for the murder of Tavares Bass. Tavares Bass is Boston Richey's cousin. That's a well-known fact. There is a gun. They had DNA on the gun. They had Mr. Wiggins' own statements that he inculpated him, and he pled guilty. So there wasn't a trial. There was no snitch that testified against him. And so let's kind of look and see what exactly Mr. Foster or Boston Richey, what he said actually. He was interviewed and he lived at the same address. So witness 3, and let's say witness 3 is in fact Boston Richey, was interviewed. Witness 3 is a relative of the homicide victim and resided at Keith Street residence where the homicide occurred. Nothing wrong there. Witness 3 reluctantly recounted an incident that occurred approximately 2 months prior involving the defendant. So he's not even talking about the murder that happened. Witness 3 stated that he or she had been in a Frenchtown neighborhood when the defendant threatened him with a firearm. The incident supposedly occurred because Witness 3 was associated with Tallahassee's South Side. That's not snitching. In fact, if you're being accused of something, that's you standing up for yourself.
Now let's stop it there, right? Because I encourage everybody to watch this full breakdown. We're not going to go through all of it here, but I will say this. During this video, Bruce Rivers says that the witness list that 1090 Jake referred to was fake. He says that anybody could end up on the witness list. It doesn't necessarily mean that they was going to testify. Bruce Rivers is also saying that, you know, when he gets questioned in this interview, that he's not even speaking on the murder. But I don't know if that really makes a difference in terms of trying to say if somebody is, you know, a snitch. So there's a lot that calls into question. Or is that the worst? Is that the worst thing he says about 1090 Jake? That he's the paperwork that he's getting is fake. Also, he addresses police probable cause statements not being reliable. You know, so they were trying to establish probable cause when they pressed Boston Richey for the murder, right? They're trying to say, you know, this guy Wig would have had probable cause to murder Boston Richey's cousin because him and Boston Richey was into it. You get what I'm trying to say? So,
yeah, you
know, but Bruce Rivers is saying that we can't really trust that. So, all of that was really convincing to me because he's a lawyer, you know, and it sounded like he was coming with some good data. You watched this video in its entirety or not, Bob?
No, I watched a little bit of it. I watched the beginning part of it, but he seems like a clout chaser to me. So
the lawyer,
I get, I get it, but it's like he's looking for business. You get me? He's a lawyer. So
he's a lawyer. He might be getting paid more doing this though, talking about
right,
people cases.
you know, right. But it just don't make sense to why, you know, he wouldn't just give his opinion on what he thought and say he wasn't a snitch. You know what I mean? It's just crazy to me that he gonna throw 1090 Jake name into it to you know.
I wonder what papers these are that he's looking at. Like, is this the actual paperwork that he's looking at, or is he just looking at like 1090 Jake stuff? Let me see.
Portion of the probable cause statement is really foundational and really can't be used to inculpate Mr. Wiggins on this case. Mr. Wiggins was scheduled to go to trial and he didn't go to trial, but two of the witnesses have recanted their statement. There is no evidence that Mr. Richey or Mr. Foster was going to testify in this case. When you look at 1090 Jake's presentation of evidence, he puts up a document that says witness list. But just because somebody appears on a fucking witness list doesn't mean that they're going to be a witness. Here's what I do in all my cases. I take every single person that's named within a police report, no matter where it is or what they think they have to offer. I put everybody on our witness list. That way, everybody's included in case maybe they have some nugget that you're going to use later and you didn't think about. And if you don't have them on your witness list, you can't call them.
I'm gonna be real though. That does make sense, but that's irrelevant. Whether he's on the witness list or not, that doesn't really take away from him telling or not. And did you watch the original video on 1090 Jake's page?
Right. I watched the original video on 1090 Jake, and I didn't really get the chance to hear it, but I know I feel credible in 1090 Jake.
Yeah, you feel like 1090 Jake is credible?
Right. So when I heard what 1090 Jake said, I did kind of think, man, there's something to that, you know, and maybe it could be something to that. But then when I heard you speak about him, it made me think, maybe a lawyer broke it down, maybe it could have. But now that I'm hearing how he's, you know, explaining to me how he would write all the witnesses down and I kind of understand the marketing angle that he's taking at even talking about this. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Well, you know what? I'm probably gonna give, let me see, 2, 3.
Like, he's not really exposing 1090 Jake to me. He's just bringing up points. You get what I mean?
Well, I'm gonna probably, I don't want to stay too long, but I'm probably 1090 Jakes did respond to Bruce Rivers making this tape, and he actually spoke with Ack about it. And I'm probably gonna take I'm gonna pick out five good takeaways from that good interview where Ack did with him, you know, and see if we could decide who's more credible in this situation. So I'm going to go ahead and share with you. I got it lined up, and we'll start from where they first get on the phone with each other. But it's very interesting that 1090 Jake kind of seems like he's willing to go face to face with anybody on the facts, and he has to defend his credibility because that's kind of like his whole game. You know, people think that he's the real deal. And though 1090 Jake is not a lawyer, he has had some experience in prison. He knows about the streets. So we can't act like he's not a credible dude.
I would give him more credibility than the lawyer for me in this case because he can't benefit as much as the lawyer can. But let's go.
Okay. So let's go here. Let's see what he said. It
was good. Yo, Jake.
What's the word?
Why everybody banging on you like you not spitting facts? Like, what's going on right now, bro? Speak to me, bro.
Man, listen. So the first lawyer, I don't know his whole name, Mo, but Lawyer for Workers.
Yeah, that's Mo Gagnon, I believe that's his full name.
Yeah, I've been following him for a minute.
Yeah.
So I was surprised when I seen his video.
I'm gonna stop it there for a second. Apparently, Mo made a video about 1090 Jake, video about Boston Richey as well. And Mo was a guy that I brought up in our previous episodes because I told you that I don't consider Mo to be credible. He was very biased when it came to that Meg Megan Tory case. You know what I'm saying? He was one of the ones that might have had a lot of people thinking that Tory was going to get off. He also was kind of defending Gunna, saying that Gunna didn't tell. The same guy, Mo. Everybody is, following his content and sharing his shit. You feel me? Now this guy's speaking on 1090 Jake. Pay attention to that. You know what I'm saying? Well, let me go back. Let me go into it.
I'm paying attention. I'm telling you what
And
I see it.
I didn't really like what he said. So, we ended up getting on a phone call the very next morning. I spoke with him. And it was super respectful. You know what I'm saying? And I brought up, you saying this and that. And, this is more or less who I am. Like, I don't understand why your video sounding so biased. And, first quarter, he apologized for saying, oh, I shouldn't have called you the internet police, or I shouldn't have said this. And
wow, he called 1090 Jake the internet police.
He just saw some shit, whatever.
Oh, now, I'm going to play another part of this interview, right? All right. He's saying how people attacked his credibility, how he checked him. He got on the phone with Mo. Now you're going to move on, and he kind of gives a play-by-play of what he thinks going on. Pay attention to this part, though.
Whatever. So respectfully to them, in my mind, it looks like y'all got paid to say something. Because for whatever reason, neither one of y'all even want to talk about the second case for Grand Theft Auto, in which he clearly told on his two co-defendants and got them arrested. Y'all want to talk about the murder case, in which he doesn't have that much involvement. But Mo brought up the fact that, okay, a murder happened in front of his mother's house. His cousin gets killed. They start questioning him. That's not how it happened. Nothing even says Boston Richey was there. Boston Richey got interviewed a whole week later after he got arrested for loitering. So you got arrested for loitering in the parking lot. They take you to the police station and then say, oh, we want to know about who killed your cousin. Who is this? Any fucking statement you give, bro, is telling. You're not even getting asked about.
I can't disagree with what Jake was saying right there. And I'm going to say something else. That GTA case, that's something where he was in commission of a crime with some other people and told on them. That to me is a whole different type of snitching, right? Because it's different type of snitching in the game, but it's so hard to be a gangster rapper these days because look at who he's getting flack about snitching on. A dude who approached him with a gun, or he had to approach with a gun, that killed his older cousin. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, but like
you would think that Boston Richey doesn't owe that guy any loyalty, is what I'm trying to say. This is a guy who he admitted to the police that Boston Richey approached him with a gun, but Boston Richey told the police that this guy threatened him with a gun. And the guy killed your older cousin. But if we playing by the street rules, if we playing by gangster rapper rules, you gotta uphold the game with him, and you might even have to withhold some information that could cause him to get off for doing that to your cousin.
Yeah, but Boston Richey claims to be in a gang.
Yeah,
blood or whatever. So what I'm saying is that's the same gang that 1090 Jake claimed he in that. So he knows, he's speaking on the level of what these guys supposed to be handling. So
signing up for.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that he's signing. I'm just saying that's a tough life to live. You gotta be honorable to people that's killing your people. You know what I'm saying? That's part of the game. So I just hope everybody knows what they're signing up for if you want to be a gangster.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is if somebody kill your grandma, they shoot up your grandma's house, you feel me, and threaten you with a gun, when the police ask you about it, you can't say a motherfucking thing. And you better not give no information about how to find them or what they had to do with the involvement of the death of your grandma, because you could lose everything. You could lose your whole career.
I don't know about all that.
Listen what I'm saying. If he's getting flack, right? Jake brought up a good point. They ain't bring up the GTA case, but what we're focusing on is him maybe telling on a guy that wanted to possibly kill him and that did kill his older cousin. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah.
So another thing. So what do you feel about him saying that Bruce Rivers and Mo probably got paid? Seem like you're a little distracted over there.
No, I seen the dog barking.
Okay.
What you said?
What,
Yeah,
saying
man,
that
I
they got
believe
paid.
just like I told you before I
Yeah.
even heard 1090J, it's recorded. I said that. I said
Yeah.
that these guys could have gotten paid. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I'm just being real, like the streets. Like I can understand what people may do. You know what I mean? And people pay influence. This is what goes on. Go ahead.
I hear you. Stop right there. You also said that you considered 1090 Jake to be more credible than the lawyer. Listen to this.
Involuntarily giving up information. It says you identified the shooter by a fucking photo to police.
Oh, that's
so I don't give a fuck what a lawyer says. One lawyer is a civil lawyer, the other lawyer is a criminal lawyer. And this is the thing about it. Whether they get the facts right or whether they get the facts wrong, they're still a fucking lawyer at the end of the day. That doesn't take away the fucking certification of the fact that they're a lawyer. Versus with me, I gotta go specifically buy the paperwork because I can't afford to make mistakes. I don't have the legal background. I didn't get a degree. I don't have all of that. The only thing I have is my reputation, which has been built on reading specifically the fucking paperwork. And all respect to Bruce Rivers, he says that the paperwork is fake. The witness list is fake.
He said the paperwork's fake?
Man, he said the witness list is fake, and Boston Richey sent me the fucking witness list.
Bro, 1090 Jake is dropping bombs on Bruce Rivers' head top during this interview.
Can you understand? That's what I'm saying. Like, who would you feel more credible? A lawyer? Like a lawyer? Like that's why these guys. That's why it's the same person doing it. It ain't nobody like. It ain't nobody on the streets like, okay, 1090 Jake said this or what it is. It ain't nobody that's on the like non-lawyer. That's you get what I'm saying?
Listen, man, I get what you said, and I got another big takeaway from the case. I think we're on the fourth takeaway, but I might have to give him 5, 6, 7 because he was just dropping bombs. Hold on. Here's another one. Another one talking about Boston Richey's character, saying that the co-defendant called 1090 Jake trying to telling that they was trying to pay him off to say that Boston Richey didn't snitch. Get mixed up. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hold on, let me give it to you. Right here.
To do it because the fucking co-defendant that Boston Richey told on reached out to me and told me that his people are trying to pay him to say he didn't tell on him.
Whoa!
So it's like it makes perfect fucking sense.
Wait. Say that again, slowly. Explain it to us.
Yeah, Boston Richey in his Grand Theft Auto case told on himself and told on his two co-defendants. One of his co-defendants was his own cousin. The other person that he told on didn't get the charges dropped, like Boston Richey said, didn't beat the case, like Boston Richey said. He was arrested and convicted. And he already hit me up and told me straight up, they're trying to pay him to come out and say otherwise.
Now, that's a very heavy accusation. So far, 1090J, right, has addressed the claim by Bruce Rivers saying that the witness list is fake. 1090 Jake says that Boston Richey is the one that gave me the witness list that you're saying is fake, right? He's also saying that Boston Richey's co-defendant says that he's getting paid on. Now, this is what 1090 Jake saying. We don't have no receipts, but I even heard at a point of this interview he's willing to send the texts to DJ Act if he'll repost it. So Bruce Rivers got some explaining to do. I mean, it seemed like he tried to attack 1090 Jake credibility, and now I'm looking at him like, was you paid off, bro? Did you look into this? Is you just critiquing 1090 Jake video, or did you go down and get all the man paperwork and look at it? And even the things that Bruce Rivers was saying in his video, I think was contradictory. Like they seemed like they would qualify for snitching in, the gang that he's in.
Right. That's all I'm saying, man. I mean, it looks like to me like, back in, back door, I need you, I need a favor, how much it costs for this. It looks like that,
It does look like that to me. We also brought up the issue of whether what the police say on the probable cause statement is reliable. Jake has something to say about that too. Just his responding to, just trying to protect his credibility. Here we go.
To the paperwork.
So what I heard Bruce Rivers kind of say is that, hey, listen, if you go by a police's probable cause statement or whatever the case is, they will say anything to try to either, I don't know what he was trying to say, but it's like, is it possible that the police kind of put him in this position and it wasn't him who agreed to do anything?
No. How? This is the thing, right? Is most people snitch under pressure or in fear that they're gonna be facing a crazy amount of time. Boston Richey brought up a fucking murder case while he was getting investigated or arrested for a loitering charge. So I don't understand how they would be forcing you. You literally volunteered to speak with the police. He did the same thing in the second report. He was willing to speak with police after he was arrested for Grand Theft Auto. They took him down to the police station. He waived his Miranda for the second time and gave a full fucking statement. They're not forcing him to fucking do nothing.
I don't really see how Boston Richey is going to be able to shake that. That's a pretty it seems pretty cut and dry to me, but
nah, you can still shake it because everybody not gonna be in depth and understand this how we're putting it down right now.
Yeah,
like 1090 Jake telling you something, I understand it before he even said it. I kind of get it, but I don't think it's a lot of people just because of it on these lawyers' name, like you said. I mean, this guy's a lawyer, but I know that they're not credible. They're credible to get that bread. You get what I'm saying? That's what they're credible for. You get me?
Well, he spoke on other things that wasn't favorable of people, but he seems like it was on the up and up. I don't think everything that he said is just wrong. He probably gets a lot right as a lawyer, but maybe this side, maybe there is a little bit of salt in the game. It seems a little crazy that.
How would you?
I don't know. These guys were covering cases like this before, though. Bruce Rivers has a lot of videos of other people, so I'm not going to automatically assume that Boston Richey's people paid him. He might have honestly thought that the video, but you know what kind of makes me feel like he might have been paid off? I'm not going to take that off the table because usually when he does videos, he talks about the case itself. He's talking about somebody else.
Jake.
Yeah, he talking about 1090 Jake talking about the video. So that's like weird. It's like if you felt like the man is not a snitch, why not just leave 1090 Jake out of it? Right. You could have honestly been like, just because somebody's on the witness list, it means this. Just because the police said he said this,
he went at the credibility.
Yeah,
right.
He didn't testify on the stand. So the way I see it, I don't that. But he didn't have to bring 1090 Jake name up at all. It seems like it was some kind of motivation.
Motivation to do that. Somebody told you to do that. Look, I can't just. I need you to. You get what I mean? Dispute this.
so that seems crazy. Also, it's at the 47 minute and 10-second mark. Just to let anybody know who wants to go review that video on DJ Axe page where 1090 Jake calls in. They also brought up a good point about Boosie. We saw Boosie do a lot of talking about how Gunna's a snitch. But he gonna turn around and have a whole mixtape with T.I. coming out.
Gunna?
No, Boosie has a mixtape with T.I. So let's look at Boosie now. Boosie calls Gunna a snitch. He also attacks Terrence Gangster Williams, Birdman's brother, right, for telling on a dead guy to get out of jail. You feel me when he was up there? But T.I. has recently admitted to telling on his dead friend to get out of jail. And Boosie has a whole mixtape with him. Why doesn't Boosie have this energy for Tip?
Good one. Good question.
Selective politicking, maybe? I don't know. I'm not. Look.
Well, the
Maybe
only
I'm not
difference
qualified to
is,
speak
well,
on it.
yeah,
Somebody
I
let
mean,
me
it's a
know.
difference
Is
because
that
Tip
is
said
that?
that his cousin told him to tell on him. So I
But
guess
that was
that's,
after his cousin, after he died. I don't know if we could even really,
yeah, I'm
can we
just,
believe what Ti is saying that his cousin said after his cousin already died? Like he's saying that his cousin came from beyond the grave to tell him it was
mhm.
okay to cooperate with the police. I don't know if I
But you
really don't
don't,
believe that. No.
yeah, but I don't think it's the same significance because this guy got out from doing 20 something years and T.I. probably wasn't even facing that much with what guns and weed. So it
That's
was
even
like,
more reason why Boosie shouldn't be making a mixtape with him if he's standing on this
yeah.
anti-snitch type of
But
campaign.
that's why I feel like it went to Baby Gangster because it was like it was more that he got the game. He got out with a lot. You get what I mean? He had a life sentence?
He wasn't supposed to come home.
Right. So it's like
Yeah,
niggas want you to stay in there and do life, man. They want
niggas
you to
will be
go
happy
home.
that you niggas will be happy that
Stand
you
on
went to jail
10, nigga.
forever, standing
Stand
on
on
10,
10.
but they not happy you came home by telling on somebody that is not even here to face any punishment for you telling on them.
Yeah, we
It's
definitely got to
like,
do another deep dive on the industry, man, on another
man, we did
another
this. I mean,
video.
look, this is the industry. Like, trust me, man. You know, Bob. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's one thing I wanted to be coming up, it was a rapper. You know what I'm saying? I still write raps to this day. I got tracks. You know what I'm saying? I love hip hop
No, hold
community,
on,
dog.
wait. You
But
still write raps to this day?
yeah, to this
What
day,
the hell
man.
you be
To this
rapping
day.
about? What your raps be about? Politics?
About the hypocrisy of the rap
Yeah.
game, about bettering myself, you know what I'm saying, about
Got you.
women, ladies, stuff
Yeah.
like that. But not about drilling and stuff
They need
like
to
that.
drop.
The
They
point I'm trying to make, right, is I love the hip hop culture, but I gotta be objective, right? When we call hip hop culture black culture, if hip hop is becoming all about crime, if it's all about sliding, if it's all about telling, who told and everything like that, are they trying to make black culture crime culture? You know
Of
what I'm saying?
course.
Like, shouldn't we want a little bit more from our artists? Shouldn't we be a little bit more critical of them? Like, if I don't want to get too far off track, I'm just saying it seemed like there's this thing where it's like free this one, free that one, right? They might be convicted of stabbing, shooting somebody, and we always like free this one until they stab or shoot one of our people. You know what I'm saying? Then do we still say that?
I think it's a bigger problem than just the hip hop community and black culture. I think it's something that needs to be, it's definitely going all the way up to
We
the
talk
higher.
about hip hop culture right now.
Yeah.
Though. That's
Yeah,
what we
but I'm
talk
thinking
about.
that it's tough for me to blame, hip hop or the people in it because, of circumstances
Hold
that,
on.
yeah.
I'm saying, should we be more critical of our moral system? You know what I'm saying? In hip hop, just as a black community,
Yeah.
we should like, is this all the way ethically right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen
No.
people on articles talking about if somebody in their family ever were to get killed and they knew about the person that did it, they wouldn't tell. They see something happen to a little girl or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to say the R word or anything like that, but they're standing on business that they wouldn't tell the police. They said they would handle it themselves. But there's got to be a problem with that. We don't went too far with that. There's a lot of talk about that kind of stuff, and then we see people are being selective with who they're being rigid with these rules with. Certain people could tell a little bit and it's okay. We look the other way, but certain people we hard on. So it's just that whole conversation needs to be fleshed out a little bit more, is all I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And
But
I think
like
that,
you said, we talked about this and we know this.
Mhm.
These record labels need to be holding some accountability of things that's happening with these artists, these big record labels of benefiting for these artists' music, and they're doing this stupidity. You know what I mean? Because if they're gonna keep getting paid in this big dollars to do this and say this, it's gonna continue to be the rat race.
But we keep consuming, like we keep talking in circles with this. Like part of us, I'm not putting it all on them. I'm putting some of the blame on me. We're consuming it. We're the ones.
And I don't want you to put all the blame on you, because I'm telling you,
not all of it, but just some of it.
It's people that could be manipulating the game. It could be a reason why you love it so much and you believe in it so much. And it's, man, because it's probably, it's probably good for, whoever is benefiting from the process. But when you see that your people not, it's kind of like with a lot of stuff, bro. It's like,
individuals is benefiting, but it's crazy because, like, are they just telling a story or are they glorifying it and promoting it? You know what I'm saying? I'd say it's a little bit of both, and we should just be, I don't know, we should want better for ourselves is all I'm trying to say. Like, we should look and be like, man, this ain't right. Like, if Young Thug actually did what he's being accused of, if it's true, should we be sad that, I don't know, it even feels like, what's wrong with me to why I have a problem saying that he should be in jail if he did that? Even that feels sorry to say, like, why. We just don't say exactly nothing why. About we don't never want black people to go to jail. You know what I'm saying?
This is why. Because you know that there's been crime done against you that hasn't been justified. So it's morally unjust for you to feel like somebody else should be punished for crimes and they committed it, but you know that there's people that did crimes and did not get justice. And it'll always be people that feel like that.
Yeah, and you know what? There's something about that though. Like, there's a logical fallacy there. I don't know what the proper name for it is, but what you don't want to do is, if somebody points out something that you're doing wrong, the response to that is not to point out what somebody else is doing wrong. Like say if I
totally get you. Let me finish it
though. If I catch you stealing out my house, you feel me? I'd be like, Bob, you stole from my house, and you respond with, everybody out here stealing. I ain't the only one. You feel me? It's like, whoa, that might be right. I'm not saying that you're wrong, but I'm dealing with you stealing out my house. Can we talk about that? That's all I'm trying to say. Let's not start thinking because other people are doing it that is all right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's not. I'm just saying, no, that's not the way. It's not that other people are stealing. This is why when people get locked up and we see our celebrities and these big time people get locked up, that you say what people feel like, that they don't feel like nobody should get locked up. Yeah, people feel like black people should be left away. It's people feel like that. This is the part of what happened to us. Like, when you did all of that, now you got us running around here whacking stuff, and we don't know what's going on because we're in this. We took, like you said, we inherited that trauma, all of that pain.
We got trauma, but you can't keep blaming trauma on going out here because look, if you go out here and you do something to my mama and you blame it on the trauma, I'm gonna bring trauma to you.
Exactly.
Like, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, it's still, that don't mean that punishment for that is not appropriate. You know what I'm saying? I understand that so we gotta weigh it, but these are tough questions that we asking. Like, I don't got all the answers for it, but it's just like, there's something wrong with the fact that if somebody's a killer, a murderer, they robbing people, like, I still have a problem. Like, Ebro, it just came out recently though that Ebro says that he doesn't want Tory Lanez to go to jail, right? Yeah, he don't want him to get no jail time, and he said something to the effect of, he just feels weird about hoping another black man goes to jail. And though I don't agree with the first statement, I do agree with the second statement. Like, it hurts me to have to say that. Like, when I had to speak out against, like, I didn't believe what Tory was saying, I think man got shot, it still made me feel a certain way. It's like, damn, dog, like, I just still feel bad about a black man going to jail, dog.
Yeah. We all do
about what they did, and it's like, there's something not right about that. Like, we need to, me personally, I'm gonna put it on me, I need to work through that a little bit more, re-examine, like, because I don't want to get caught in tribalism, dog. Just because we black don't mean that we got to be in cahoots, dog. If you did something wrong, though, I can't stand by you just because we black. You know
Right.
what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
I
yeah.
can't do
Definitely,
that.
definitely,
You know
definitely.
what I'm saying? So I
But
don't want
we
to get go
too
ahead,
much
go ahead.
into it. No. I was
Yeah.
gonna say, yeah, but you can see how we can see clearly how people that act in the way we act and can start from a poverty sense, because you
Oh
see,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah. I mean,
poverty
I mean,
mindset.
guys are talking about the hood and what's going on in the hood, and it's like, how do we get in the hood? It's that
Right.
old saying, like, oh, we got the crabs in the barrel mentality, but you know, the crab's not supposed to be in the barrel. You know what I'm saying? So like, we could go there too with it,
Yeah.
but still, I just think we got some responsibility when it comes to the type of community that
too.
we're creating. This is ours,
Yeah.
right? This is our thing. We need to lift up better things, is all I'm trying to say. We don't need to be
I
lifting
agree.
up drill artists all the
Negative
time.
stuff.
Why
Yeah.
is a guy like Boston Richey shooting to the top of the charts? I don't think it's necessarily because of the music. I think it has a lot to do with the violence. We love the authenticity. You know what I'm saying? If he's rapping about this and he's actually doing it, that makes the music sound better to us, and we're more infatuated, or at least I am. But you know, it makes you
can say
think
all of
sometimes,
it.
like, damn, what am I listening to? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is
Yeah.
you
This
know,
is
maybe
a whole nother show.
maybe
This is
this
a
could
whole
make
nother show
it
right
could,
here.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
We
sometimes
need
the
to do
art makes,
something.
sometimes life imitates the art. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes life imitates art, but sometimes art imitates life. But you know, just seeing something and listening to something all day, that could have an effect on how we're treating each other or how we do it. So it's something to talk about, though. As we talked about before. We talked about it, but you know, we seem like repeating ourselves now. So we'll go ahead and kind of just close off. Yeah, another episode. I think we did good. And remember, Bob, if a lie wasn't gift wrapped in the truth, nobody would believe it. You know?
Crazy. Yeah. All right, so we'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.